out something in nature just gives me the information, doesn't really give me a whole lot of depth. But when I'm out in nature experiencing it, I get the depth plus the information.
Do you have the med for?
So sassafras, you're gonna walk and you're gonna drop your things off just inside the tent. Clam, you're gonna do the same, and everybody.
I call back. See, I'm up here. Don't take that. You're storing your things under
The school was 5 years old when I started, so I came on board in December of 1977.
When I came here, there were 7 staff. We had 30 or 40 students each week, always for 5 days.
That was really the root of what started here, was getting kids out of the regular classroom, the conventional classroom, and into the field.
Now we have 28 to 30 staff in the spring and fall, and about 20 to 22 in the summer, and 12 to 14 people that are in 12-month year-round contracts.
One of the important ingredients of time at Echo Hill Outdoor School on these classes is the idea that learning can be fun.
Probably some of the most rewarding experiences we had, and we hear back from the visiting teachers once they return to the classroom that actually it's affected how they are in the classroom as well. So it's not only just here, but back when they return to school, they see improvements.
The teachers who are teaching you all are going to introduce themselves, and they're going to announce what tribe you're in and what class you'll have and what you should bring.
Well, Echo Hill is a really special place. It's kind of like its own country. So while you're here, you'll get your own passport. But our passports are way cooler than the passports that you get to leave the country because they don't have those embarrassing photos. But instead, they have awesome things like sightings lists. So if you see a bald eagle or a flying squirrel slash, what did you call it? The beaver?
The wily beaver.
The wily beaver. You can check those off your list. There's some questions that go along with your classes. There's a map of Kent County, which is where Echo Hill is located. There's a map of Echo Hill, so take a good opportunity to look through these. It's kind of like your yearbook or your scrapbook. You want to have it with you at all times. Make sure you bring it to class and treasure these because you can have them for years to come.
During rush hour, you have to hang out on tent side, but during extra time, you guys have a couple of really great options. You can come down over here to a ball court or a tetherball court, or you can even go on down to the beach. The only thing that we ask is that you make sure there's an Echo Hill staff member with you while you're playing there, especially down at the waterfront.
This tent side right over here is known as boys' side. The tent side on the other side of the campus is known as girls' side. So at no point in time should girls go to boys' side or boys go to girls' side. And this season I'm the director of fun. So if you find yourself not having the most awesomest time you can have while you're here, come find me and I will turn your frown upside down. Not funny? I know you're laughing, there you go. And I will make sure you have a good time while you're here.
I went to a small liberal arts school on the North Shore of Boston, Massachusetts. I got a degree in elementary education.
My background, education-wise, is in psychology and sociology.
I didn't go to college.
My degree was in English with a history minor.
I graduated high school and went to work as a naturalist for a few seasons at Point Lookout State Park.
I was certified in the state of California.
I've worked with children of all ages in different places. I've worked in Philadelphia for a few years, working with urban youth and doing summer programs as well as year-round programs.
We are interested in their interpersonal skills and how they feel they can contribute beyond the 6 to 8 hours of instruction each day.
The ones that want to do it the most, they are absolutely the ones that become the best teachers.
Yeah.
He just looks like a fish to me.
Here's a humongous golden shiner.
That one's big.
The population of oysters has very much declined. There are about 2% left as far as when original folks from Europe came over, like when John Smith came over.
there were so many oysters, and they loved it. And they said you could just reach down, you could pick up oysters, and you could have them to eat for your entire village.
How big can he get?
Really big.
That's right. He can get to be 6 feet long. He could weigh 100 pounds. Right? This is how he can get that big. Check this out. Look.
Get him.
Look.
Taffy stretcher.
See him?
That's awesome.
That's Tom.
He is an eating machine. Well, our 3 areas of curriculum are science and ecology, history and the human environment, and then what we call the challenge or adventure aspect of our education, where we help children find out more about themselves and each other.
What we teach here is just a hands-on experience and what they've already learned in the classroom. And if they haven't yet learned it in the classroom, they will learn it, and they'll be able to look back and remember that time in the swamp. So they go hand in hand.
Do you guys talk about pawpaw trees in your class?
So
Creepy.
when we pulled the stick out, did you guys see those bubbles?
Yeah.
Someone mentioned that
section.
swamps have smelly bubbles. And there's one thing I love, it's the smell of swamp gas. And the way swamp gas gets there is stuff falls in the water. We already talked about this, and it sinks down. And when it's down there, it becomes food for things like bacteria. So bacteria chow down, they eat food, and just like human bodies sometimes produce gas as a byproduct, bacteria produce this methane gas. So when you see swamp bubbles coming up, it's methane gas from the decay that's going on in the bottom of the water.
You guys have the buckets?
Julia does.
Guys, don't go in the water. Carrie,
Hold on, don't go in the water yet.
I'm not.
Here, hold this for just a second. Okay, the first thing we need is clear water. Because if, no.
I've got a huge claw.
Okay, so next we have our net. This is called a seine net. And scientists use this net to find out what lives in a body of water. This guy was born in fresh water and will stay in fresh water most of the time. Here he is in the creek, so we know the water in the creek must be almost fresh. So the salinity or the level of salt in the water must be so low that this guy can survive in here. He's called a tessellated darter.
It's like you come to Echo Hill and you expect it's just going to be the bay in the woods, but there's actually a bit of interesting history right here. And everything we're going to see today has real historic value, and I want you guys to pay attention to that and feel free to ask questions.
20, 21.
680.
680.
Send the book line.
Down the book there. 10, 15. 10, 15, 10, 15, 10, 15, 10, 15. Sold. $10. You bought it, ma'am, right here.
It might be.
The black and white cows you see in here are called Holsteins. The red and white ones, like over here, are also Holsteins. They have a recessive red gene that comes out every once in a while, and you get a red and white cow. Squeeze your thumb real tight, and while that thumb is nice and tight, then squeeze with the rest of your fingers.
Weather permitting, Highflyer Farm says you big cherries, blueberries, peaches, raspberries, blackberries.
It don't matter what happens anywhere in the world, you see it within an instant after it's happened. I mean, whether it's good, bad, or indifferent. But seeing it and experiencing it is two different things.
All of our adventure is challenge by choice, which means that the kids can choose and challenge as much as they want or as little as they want.
Yeah, right now.
Woo! Go Brady! Yeah.
Want to try and let go for a little bit? You'll like sort of like, there you go, good job.
I felt like ladders.
And with the giant's ladder and the zip line, it starts with a climb.
All right, so Simi, you're gonna climb with your glove on. That's gonna be your challenge. We have strong legs, okay? Use them.
the Wild Woozy, it's called. It's sort of an introduction to spotting, actually. So a lot of the elements, anytime campers or students are up off the ground, we ask that people are spotting them to create this physical personal safety.
Barbecue chicken, best around. Hi.
Some white meat on our plate.
Okay.
Great.
It wasn't out here when I made them up.
The food is very, very good. It is much better than other field trip food that we've had.
All right, guys. If you normally take medicine at breakfast time, you can come over here and meet your teachers. If you need a pill, if you're taking a pill, please bring a cup of liquid to swallow it. And if you're finished eating, we can go ahead and start cleaning up, all right?
Echo Hill Outdoor School asks the visiting group, the visiting school or organization to assume the responsibility of distributing daily medication.
Every parent wants to know that their children are safe when they're away from home or away from their school program. So we work hard at that.
I'm CPR certified, first aid certified, I am a certified lifeguard.
I am Red Cross certified in first aid and CPR, as well as a lifeguard.
I am certified in American Red Cross, first aid and CPR for the professional rescuer.
In a classroom, you can teach people what happens. In an outdoor classroom, you can show them. And the theory or the context of what they learn in the classroom becomes a reality when you're outside. Plus, there's so many things that you see or do outside that you can never experience in a classroom. The teachers here take them out, play games with them, help them understand more things about the nature around them than they could really do in a classroom.
It was really fun being here, and this trip has brought me away from home longer than my 16-year-old brother. So that makes me kind of more mature within him, which makes me happy.
Some of our programs, we have a program that we call Stick Ceremony, where all the students thank somebody or just make a comment about their experience and throw a stick into a fire and dedicate that stick to that thought.
Because I'm not a nature person, but I really enjoyed this trip. At first I was feeling kind of homesick, but I was just really comforted by like my friends and stuff, and it really made the trip really special. So yeah.
Because she really helped me when I was homesick, and a lot of the girls in our tent when they were homesick, and especially my cabin because they really funny and awesome.
I would like to thank the Echo Hill staff for making this trip really fun, and I did a whole bunch of stuff that I never thought that I would ever do, like kiss a fish and milk a cow. It was awesome.
We live in a time when people are probably more disconnected from the natural world than they've ever been, and I think we also live in a time when that connection is more important than it's ever been. So Echo Hill Outdoor School can serve as a place that introduces kids to this natural world or strengthens their understanding of it. And we also function as a place where kids get to enjoy childhood and they get to play in a largely unstructured environment. And I think that that's something that a lot of kids haven't experienced before, and for them to come to Echo Hill and have the freedom to explore the beach or run through the woods or build a fort out of sticks, it's a piece of childhood magic that I think every kid needs, and it's something that we can provide here.
And I'll do most of the steering.